Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and I wanted to give my recap of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Rumble on the 44th Street, which took place at the Palladium in Times Square in New York City. Now, for this video, I'm actually going to cover both the night before and the main show. So you had the night before Halloween special, and then you had the main Rumble on 44th Street show. So, yeah. Now, for this pretty much night before show, this was a surprise card. So none of us knew what the card was going to be until the wrestlers made their entrances. And to be honest with y'all, I felt like this strategy was really, really good. It had a nice twist to it. I really like how they did this. A surprise card. I really like the way they did this. I was definitely digging this. So it turned out to be 7 total matches for this night before Rumble on 44th Street Halloween special. So 7 matches total. And you know what? They were pretty, for the most part, a good number of them were pretty dang on good in length. Overall length, I thought was pretty dang on good. Anyway, so the first match was a tag team match. This was the Young Lions team of the DKC and Kevin Knight taking on the reunited for one night special Rocky Romero, Alex Kozlov, the Forever Hooligans. What a surprise to kick off the show with them reuniting. And of course, they kept fighting back and forth. They had some arguments. They even attacked each other, was shoving, pushing each other. But overall, this was really cool to showcase them, but also continue to showcase Kevin Knight and the DKC. I got a chance to see these two when I went to the NJPW Strong High Alert show that was in Charlotte, North Carolina, a couple of months ago. And I really, really enjoyed what I saw from this team. And you know what? I think, especially for Kevin Knight, I think he's got a bright future. I could see him being in a future Best of Super Juniors tournament. Maybe after he graduates. We'll see. And the DKC, I like his charisma. I really do. But this was a great starting match for the show. Like I said, Alex Kozlov, Rocky Romero, the Forever Hooligans have teamed up many, many years, many times. They were a thing before Roppongi Vice became a thing. But it was a good match. But when it was all said and done, there was a miscommunication, and Kevin Knight ended up rolling up Alex Kozlov for a small package 1, 2, 3. And Kevin Knight and the DKC, who have been undefeated as a tag team so far, get another win against a very well-known tag team in the Forever Hooligans. So, wow. Pretty much an upset. A big upset victory. So, congratulations to the DKC and Kevin Knight. But what a surprise seeing the Forever Hooligans team up again. That was quite a surprise. I loved it. Okay, the next match we had a singles match. This had Fred Rosser, the current strong openweight champion, taking on Crowbar. And I must say, Crowbar looked pretty good in this match. He even hit a turnbuckle Frankensteiner I thought was pretty great. But you know what? Crowbar looked good in this match. I thought it was definitely back and forth, but Crowbar, he surprised me. He definitely surprised me. I thought he looked really good in this match. Um, wasn't a surprise I was expecting, but overall, pretty dang on good match. But Fred Rosser was able to defeat Crowbar with the Sidewinder Emerald Frozen for the 1-2-3. So, great match for both. Good sign of sportsmanship after the match. So I thought that was really cool. But after the match, Jonathan Gresham comes down to the ring and pretty much ends up accepting Fred Rosser's open challenge by challenging him for a shot at the Strong Openweight Championship. And that ended up being what the match was set to be for the main show. So there you have it with that. Jonathan Gresham versus Fred Rosser. Title on the line. That was quite a surprise. And I don't know if Jonathan Gresham is signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that would be pretty big. That would be pretty big. I mean, that would also end up leading to us finally getting a chance to see him versus Zack Sabre Jr. So that would be awesome. I would love to see that. Okay, next up, we had another tag team match. We had the team of Aussie Open, the current strong openweight tag team champions, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, taking on the team of SAT, made up of Joel Maximo and Jose Maximo, which I believe, if I remember seeing correctly, I think they've wrestled for GCW, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so this was a non-title tag team match. And apparently, SAT, these two guys were trained by Mikey Whipwreck. So I thought that was pretty interesting. They had a couple of spot monkeys join them, and they kind of got involved as well. But this was a pretty decent match. I mean, we knew Aussie Open was going to get the victory, and of course, that's exactly what happened. They were able to hit Jose Maximo with the Coriolis for the 1-2-3. That's their patent double team finisher. But yeah, Aussie Open with a victory en route to their big title defense for the main show. So got some momentum there. Some good momentum there. All right. Next up, we had a fatal four-way match. And this had Mighty Monty, Smiley, both who have wrestled for the House of Glory promotion. We had Mascara Dorada. Some of y'all know him as Grand Metalik, which I liked the rain gear he was rocking. Paid tribute to Juventud Guerrera. I thought that was pretty cool. And also, I think also Jushin Thunder Liger as well. But, and the fourth was Speedball Mike Bailey. So I thought that was quite a surprise. This is quite a surprise. Speedball in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And you know what? This was a great match. This was definitely a great match. I thought all four were showcased really well, but man, that finish was sick. Oh my God, that finish was sick. Speedball Mike Bailey hitting the Ultima Weapon onto two folks with one on the other's shoulders. Like, wow. That was a sick finish. But Speedball hits the Ultima Weapon, gets the 1-2-3, and he is your winner in this very awesome Fatal 4-Way. Like I said, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the surprise members for this match. But yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey with a big victory in this Fatal 4-Way. I just recently saw him live not too long ago wrestle for DPW. So, and got a chance to meet him. So it was really cool. But yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey with a solid victory. All right, next up, we had another solid singles match. This was Hot Sauce Tracy Williams taking on the King, Murder Grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki. And this match definitely did not disappoint. This was strong style, technical wrestling specialists from both. And you know what? I felt like this was definitely a dream match. Because as far as I know, I think this is the first time these two have faced each other. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this is pretty much a dream match. But yeah, the strikes were there. The submission grappling was there. The usual that we can expect between these two technicians. But, of course, when it was all said and done, Minoru Suzuki was just a little too much for Hot Sauce. Was able to put him to sleep, then hit a Gotch-style pile driver to finish him off with a 1-2-3. And Minoru Suzuki with a great victory over Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. And I got to give credit to Hot Sauce. He looked good in this match, hanging with the King. You know, so definitely not looking down on that. He did his thing. He did his thing. He almost was about to give the referee a Gotch-style pile driver, but he's like, just kidding. So I thought that was pretty funny. But, yeah, Minoru Suzuki. Quite a surprise there. Him going up against Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. Great match. All right. We had another singles match. This was Jake Something taking on the Dragon of L.I.J. Shingo Takagi. And this match definitely did not disappoint. I mean, both these guys really bringing the power, bringing the lariats and strikes and the power moves. This was quite a great match between both. And if I remember correctly, I know Jake Something has been mainly freelancing, I believe, for the most part. He did wrestle at NJPW Strong High Alert back in Charlotte. So, I thought that was really good. But, I really like Jake Something. I think he's good. I think he's definitely good. And he put on quite a fight against Shingo. I was hoping to see Shingo bust out Last of the Dragons, but it took a pumping bomber to put away Jake Something. Which, it was a very powerful one. Very powerful one. But I would have loved to have seen the Last of the Dragons. But it's okay. It's okay. Shingo puts away Jake Something with a pumping bomber for the 1-2-3. A great match. Definitely a great match. Both of these men did well. And then the main event. The main event was a special 12-man elimination match, where the eliminations can be done by pinfall, submission, or throw over the top rope with 2 feet touching the floor. Now, the competitors on one team, you had Team Filthy and Bullet Club. So Team Filthy, you had Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Gerald Nelson of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. And for Bullet Club, you had Switchblade Jay White, Rock Hard Juice Robinson, and Headbanger El Phantasmo. All on one team. And then the other team, we had Amazing Red, so that was a nice little surprise. Amazing Red. We had Eddie Kingston. We had Homicide. We had Yo. We had John Moxley, who was accompanied by Shota Umino. And we had Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, on the other side. And like I said, this was a elimination match. 12-man elimination match. This definitely went the distance. This had a good touch of comedy, action, and chaos throughout the entire match. So I was definitely digging it. Team Filthy pretty much were dressed in like zombie nun outfits, and they had like holy water and crosses and stuff like that. It was crazy. But this was definitely a very entertaining main event. I mean, to the max. This was a very entertaining main event. And as far as the eliminations went down, so the order of eliminations, so Yo got eliminated first. He was thrown over the top rope. Then Amazing Red eliminated Jorel Nelson, hit a code red. And then Royce Isaacs came in and eliminated Amazing Red. And then Homicide eliminates Royce Isaacs. I believe he tossed him over the top rope, if I remember correctly. And then Homicide got eliminated right not too long after he eliminated Royce Isaacs. And then ELP, El Phantasmo, got tossed over the top rope, so he got eliminated. And then Filthy Tom Lawler got eliminated. And then even though Okada hit a Rainmaker on Juice Robinson, Jay White came in and eliminated Okada, tossing him over the top rope. And then Juice Robinson got eliminated as Moxley picked up the scraps. And then finally, Jay White got eliminated, with the final two still standing being Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Therefore, their team gets the victory. What a main event. Really, really great main event. And like I said, I really like the way they did this show. You know, a surprise card. And it was on the money. It was definitely on the money. I would have loved to have seen, the ladies from Stardom compete on the show, but that didn't happen. So they're going to save that for the main show, which is fine. But yeah. So that was the night before Rumble on the 44th Street. Great show with a surprise card, and there was some really good surprises. So kudos to New Japan Pro Wrestling on putting together a great show. Now, let's switch gears and actually recap the main show, the actual Rumble on the 44th Street, which was in the same venue, the same Palladium at Times Square, just the following day. So, the main show, Rumble on 44th Street. We had a kickoff match to start off this card, and it was a women's tag team match. So we had the team of Tiara James and Kylie Ray, good to see Kylie Ray again, taking on Cosmic Angels, Mina Shirakawa and Waka Tsukiyama. Waka Tsukiyama returning home for this match. She's American-born in New York, Japanese wrestler. So it was good to see Waka get this opportunity to wrestle in her home. And you know what? This was a good kickoff match. These ladies look great. Like I said, it was good to see Kylie Ray wrestle. I haven't seen her wrestle in a while. But it seemed like a lot of folks were behind Cosmic Angels, especially Waka Tsukiyama. But it was definitely a pretty good match. But the disappointment as Kylie Ray hit the TKO on Waka Tsukiyama, despite her efforts, pins Waka for the 1-2-3. Kylie and Tiara James get the victory. And Waka Tsukiyama eats the pin in her hometown. I was really disappointed with the outcome. Y'all had one chance to make things right. She has this match in her hometown. They're in New York. And y'all couldn't get her a victory. There's no telling when Waka's going to get her first victory. There's no telling. And this was apparently her 100th match, supposedly, with Stardom or whatnot. And yet still has yet to get a victory in Stardom. That's a shame. That's a shame. The one opportunity that they had to capitalize on this and give her a win in her hometown. And they failed us. Totally failed us. Next up, we had another tag team match. This was the main card. So we had the team of Rocky Romero and Rocky Romero and Yo teaming up against House of Torture's Evil and Yujiro. I'm sorry, not Evil. Sho and Yujiro Takahashi. Man, I'm messing up. Sho and Yujiro Takahashi of House of Torture versus Yo and Rocky Romero. Honestly, this match played out just how I thought it would. I mean, when you're in a match with House of Torture, of course, what do you think's going to happen? There's going to be some sort of cheating, some sort of interference, and of course, that dirty wrench came into play as Yo had the wrench in play, used it. Yujiro Takahashi was able to roll up Rocky Romero after being hit with the wrench for the 1-2-3. And once again, freaking House of Torture reigns supreme. Because yet they can't even get a victory without cheating. Can't get a victory without cheating. So it was just really crazy. Really, really crazy. But I feel for Rocky Romero. That's two back-to-back nights he's lost. So sad. Okay, we had the strong openweight championship on the line as Fred Rosser, Mr. No Days Off, defended the title against Jonathan Gresham. And I tell you, this was a hard-hitting match. This was back and forth. Honestly, there was no telling how this was going to go, but man, this was a great match. Very, very great match. The third match of the show, and this was great. I definitely dug this match from start to finish. But surely enough, Fred Rosser was able to hit that Sidewinder Emerald Frozen to pin the Octopus. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, afterwards there was a sign of respect shown. And yeah, Fred Rosser looking strong. And you know what? Another notch on his belt. So great victory, a big victory for Fred Rosser. Let me backtrack. So the finish, the post-match after the tag team match with Rocky Romero and Yo and House of Torture was going to do some more damage on Yo, but then the lights went out and the bad child, Leo Rush, appeared, helped clean house, and apparently looks like he's formed an alliance with Yo. They even did the 3K. The 3K hand pose. Yo and Leo Rush. Interesting. But you know what this makes me think of? Could Leo Rush actually be joining Chaos? Could he actually be joining Chaos? Just a thought, something to think about. But maybe he's joining Chaos. We'll see. We'll see. But he could be joining Chaos. Anyway. But yeah, Fred Rosser versus Jonathan Gresham, great match. Then next up, we had the strong openweight tag team titles on the line in a triple threat. So, Aussie Opens, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, the champions, defended against Kevin Knight and the DKC of the New Japan Pro Wrestling LA Dojo, and the Motor City Machine Guns. And I must say, this was an incredible triple threat match. I mean, all three teams looked awesome. And of course, you know my favorite, Motor City Machine Guns. As you can see, I'm rocking my Time Machine shirt, which is Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. But I definitely enjoyed this match from start to finish. Kevin Knight and the DKC got showcased quite a good bit, and they looked really strong in this match as well as the other tag teams. And then a shocker happened. This was the biggest surprise of the entire show. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley hits their double team finisher, which I believe they call it the Dirty Bomb, which this was the same double team finisher that they did to the Young Bucks back in ROH to win the ROH World Tag Team Championships. And they used the same finisher on Kevin Knight and get the 1-2-3. And ladies and gentlemen, the Motor City Machine Guns are your new strong open weight tag team champions. I love it. I love it. Now, don't get me wrong, I do expect to see Aussie Open get a shot to get their titles back, because they did not get pinned. They did not get pinned in this match. Yes, were they in this match? Yes. But they did not get pinned. So, this was actually Kevin Knight and the DKC's first loss together as a tag team. But Aussie Open did not get pinned. So I'm sure they're going to get a shot at these titles. They might end up getting the first title shot. But Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley win the tag titles on New Japan Pro Wrestling's Rumble on the 44th Street in New York City. Wow. That was big. That was big. I mean, I love them, and, I was rooting for them, but I did not expect them to win. But congratulations to the Motor City Machine Guns. I love it. Love it, love it. We also had a segment where Alex Coughlin came down to the ring, got on the mic, called out JR Kratos, and declared that he would be returning for the World Tag League. So that's going to be very interesting. Alex Coughlin, someone who else was a former Young Lion. I actually got a chance to see him compete at DPW No Pressure. He defeated JD Drake. Was a great match. But yeah, definitely looking forward to his return. But next up, we had a six-man tag. We had Team Filthy's Tom Lawler and the West Coast Wrecking Crew of Royce Isaacs and Jerome Nelson teaming up to take on Homicide, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. And this was also a very solid match as well. Wheeler Yuta, man, he did that running somersault senton from off the ramp. That was my favorite spot of the match. Definitely looked great. Homicide came to the ring with a fork in his bandana. I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, this was a great match, and I loved the finish. Shota Umino doing that running, swinging neck breaker, and then hitting the Death Rider on Jorel Nelson to pick up the 1-2-3 for his team. That was quite a finish from shooter Shota Umino. What a finish. I definitely enjoyed that match, and that finish was amazing. But yeah, good stuff there. Hitting the Death Rider. Of course, he's like the adopted son of Jon Moxley. We had an incredible singles match Minoru Suzuki, Murder Grandpa, taking on Clark Connors, the Wild Rhino, who was accompanied by a longtime rival of Minoru Suzuki in the form of the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. That's right. He was in the Wild Rhino's corner. This was an incredible match. A lot of strong style, a lot of strikes, a lot of slaps and kicks from both competitors. And I give credit to Clark Connors. He hung with Murder Grandpa. Oh, yeah, he hung with him. He did good. And even though he didn't pick up the victory, he ate a Gotch-style pile driver, Minoru Suzuki with the victory. But Clark Connors looked really good in this match. Really good. And, you know, it was really cool to see Suzuki and Shamrock hug at the end and show good sportsmanship to Clark Connors. I thought that was really cool from Minoru Suzuki. But, you know, a good, clean, hard-hitting match between both competitors. Clark Connors, Minoru Suzuki, awesome match. Loved it. Alrighty, we had another championship match. The SWA SWA Undisputed Women's World Championship on the line as the champion, the icon of stardom, Mayu Iwatani, defending against Kylan King. And I have to say, this was a great match. I believe this is the first time Kylan King has wrestled Mayu Iwatani, and I have to say, she looked good in this match. She really brought her A game to Mayu Iwatani, who's a phenomenal wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the world. And these ladies, they tore the roof off. And, you know, I know the crowd was definitely highly behind Mayu Iwatani, but these two ladies, they put on a great show. It was back and forth, but Mayu was able to get the victory after hitting a moonsault and pinning Kylan King for the 1-2-3, and she retains the SWA championship. Good sportsmanship afterwards. They shared a bow and a hug to each other. But Kylan King looked really good. Looked really good in this match. And I'm thankful she got the opportunity to wrestle Mayu Iwatani. She did good. And I'm hoping that Mayu will continue to defend that title and get the chance to travel overseas. But she's going to be very busy because she has her big IWGP Women's Championship Finals match against Kyrie at Historic Crossover. So she's got to also get ready for that because that'll be here sooner than you know it. And of course, she's in the Goddess of Stardom Tag League, you know, with her partner, the Peach Star, Momokogo. We had the KOPW 2022 trophy match. The trophy holder Shingo Takagi versus El Phantasmo. This was a NYC street fight. And I tell you, it was a solid street fight. Both traded weapons. I mean, we saw chair shots, kendo sticks, trash cans. We saw tables being used. Both used the mist. El Phantasmo used red mist. Shingo used green mist. It was crazy. It was really crazy. But I know it kind of sort of looked like blood, but I didn't think it was blood personally, because that would just be really nasty. But it was a great match, definitely back and forth. But when it was all said and done, Shingo, despite eating a splash from the top of the ladder through a table, Shingo still ended up winning this match, hitting a Made in Japan. Or no. I'm sorry. He hit a he pretty much hit a CR3 onto the chairs and got the 1-2-3. But I tell you, that was a phenomenal match. I think, if I remember correctly, that went over 20 minutes. But man, that was a great match. I mean, a great match. But Shingo, so 2 back-to-back victories for Shingo. His win in the first night over Jake something, and then a victory over El Phantasmo. Really, really good stuff. So, man, I tell you, it's crazy. It was really, really crazy. And then the main event was a tag team match. We had Eddie Kingston and Kazuchika Okada taking on Bullet Club's Switchblade Jay White and Rock Hard Juice Robinson. This match was a solid match. All 4 were very much involved throughout the entire match. And, there was a lot of smack talk between Eddie Kingston and Switchblade Jay White, which was really good. But when it came down to it, it took a low blow from Switchblade on his second attempt, low blow, onto Eddie Kingston, finished him with a Blade Runner, and Bullet Club gets the last laugh at Rumble on 44th Street. He had a nice, juicy post-match promo from Switchblade Jay White. And yeah, that concluded Rumble on the 44th Street. So, a solid 2 nights of great New Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Stardom. 2 solid nights. Like I said, night 1 had a surprise card. And, night 2, we had a title change. I mean, we had the strong openweight tag team titles change hands. Congratulations once again to my goat of tag teams, the Motor City Machine Guns. But quite an awesome 2 nights. And, we also got an announcement that Battle in the Valley got announced for San Jose, California in February at the San Jose Civic Center. And apparently, we're going to have, looks like, well, Okada and Jay White are on the cover of the first graphic. But yeah, February 18th of next year, this will be New Japan Pro Wrestling's first major international event for next year. So, that's exciting. That's exciting. Hopefully they'll come back to North Carolina as well. They were last in North Carolina for NJPW Strong High Alert, which was a great show. I was front row for that. So hopefully they'll come back to North Carolina soon, and they'll bring some Stardom talent as well. Here's hoping. You never know. But what did y'all think? What did y'all think about both shows, the night before and Rumble on the 44th Street? Did you enjoy the matches? What did you think of the card? Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Peace out.